Not every Hollywood success story ends with celebration and accolades. Some of the most famous names in showbiz have climbed from poverty to wealth, only to face devastating downfalls. These stories go beyond addiction, poor investments, or mental health challenges. They include shocking descents into homelessness. Fame doesn't always bring stability, and for some, it leads to complete ruin. While a few manage to rebuild their lives, many are not as lucky. Now, let's explore the stories of stars who lost it all and ended up on the streets. Get ready to uncover the shocking twists in the lives of these showbiz icons. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an exciting update. Lonnie Willison, a former fitness model who graced the cover of Fame magazine and was married to Baywatch star Jeremy Jackson, seemed to have it all. But after her divorce from Jeremy and a series of personal struggles, her life took a drastic turn. Lonnie spiraled into substance abuse, and what once was a glamorous Hollywood life became a whirlwind of chaos. She found herself struggling to survive in harsh circumstances, her dreams replaced by a painful downfall. Her story serves as a powerful reminder of how quickly the glitz and glamour of fame can be overshadowed by personal collapse and tragedy. Lonnie Willison's story is a tragic reminder of how quickly life can shift from a dream to a nightmare. Once a successful fitness model, her life spiraled after personal struggles, including her divorce from Jeremy Jackson and battles with substance abuse. Living on the streets of Venice Beach, she became caught up in bizarre claims, including accusations of electrical shocks and mental health issues. What was once a life of opportunity became consumed by addiction, trapping her in a cycle of hardship and confusion. This heartbreaking tale highlights the devastating impact of addiction and mental health struggles, showing how quickly fame and success can be overshadowed by personal turmoil and tragedy. However, extravagance doesn't always guarantee happiness. In the mid-1990s, MC Hammer faced severe financial struggles. As his career declined and the music industry evolved, he could no longer maintain his lavish lifestyle. In 1996, he filed for bankruptcy, with debts totaling $13 million, marking a painful turning point. Despite this setback, MC Hammer didn't let it define him. He pivoted to producing, entrepreneurship, and charity work. His story serves as a reminder of how fleeting success can be and the importance of smart financial management, especially in a constantly changing industry. As musical trends shifted, MC Hammer's bank account began to dwindle. However, he didn't give up. He downsized to a modest home, became more cautious with his finances, and started organizing concerts. Hammer reinvented himself as an entrepreneur and investor. His story proves that even after a financial collapse, a strong comeback is still possible. Erin Moran, best known for her role as Joni Cunningham in Happy Days, seemed to have it all: fame, wealth, and a place in one of America's beloved sitcoms. But just a few decades later, her life took a tragic turn. Her story became a cautionary tale. After spending recklessly, Erin lost her California home in 2010. The Hollywood mansions and career opportunities faded, leaving her with nothing but a one-way ticket to a trailer park in Indiana, where she lived with her elderly mother-in-law. But even that couldn't last. After a night of heavy drinking, she returned home to a confrontation with her mother-in-law, who promptly kicked her out. Once a celebrated star, she found herself homeless, bouncing from one motel to the next. Her life took a tragic turn when she was found wandering near a dilapidated motel, unrecognizable. Rumors spread that she had died from a heroin overdose, but the truth was even more heartbreaking. Erin passed away in 2017 from cancer after a life marked by highs and lows and being largely forgotten by Hollywood. Her story stands as a stark reminder that fame can fade, wealth can vanish, and a fairy tale ending in Hollywood is never guaranteed. Dana Plato, star of the beloved sitcom Different Strokes, started her promising career at just 14. But behind the glamour of fame, she struggled with substance abuse. When the show ended, so did the stability in her life. Dana was arrested for drug and alcohol addiction, prescription forgery, and even for robbing a video store in 1991. She went to prison for rehab, but by 1999 she was found wandering between motels in Oklahoma, broke and homeless. Although she claimed to be clean, her appearance on the Howard Stern show marked a turning point, spiraling her life further into chaos. Less than 24 hours later, Dana tragically died from a drug overdose, a life that never got the happy ending it deserved. Her story remains one of Hollywood's most heartbreaking and cautionary tales. Margot Kidder, the iconic star of Superman, was once Hollywood royalty, mingling with legends like Richard Pryor and Canadian Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau. But in 1996, her life took a turn that no script could have predicted. Rather than soaring with the Man of Steel, she was found wandering the streets of Los Angeles, missing teeth and sleeping in cardboard boxes. The glamorous life of a silver screen star vanished as she battled undiagnosed bipolar disorder, leading to homelessness. Kidder spent time on the streets of Glendale, California, relying on the kindness of strangers for help, including shelter and even cigarettes. Eventually, her family and authorities stepped in, getting Margot the help she needed by taking her to a psychiatric facility. Refusing to let her struggles define her, she turned her experience into a mission, becoming a passionate advocate for mental health awareness. She famously said, "We're all just one breath away from mental illness." Margot's story serves not only as a warning, but as a powerful reminder of resilience, showing that even after hitting rock bottom, we can rise again. Jan Michael Vincent was once a Hollywood heartthrob in the 70s and 80s, famous for his role in Airwolf. However, his real-life story was far from the glamorous, action-packed adventure his career suggested. Instead, it resembled a slow-motion shipwreck, driven by addiction and poor choices. In 1977 and 1979, he was arrested multiple times for cocaine possession and faced charges for drunk driving and aggravated assault. Wild partying and car accidents left him severely injured, ultimately losing a leg and relying on a prosthetic or wheelchair. His addiction cost him everything: his career, his wealth, and his home. In his later years, he lived homeless, wandering rural areas of Mississippi and North Carolina, far from the Hollywood spotlight. Jan Michael Vincent passed away at 74, a relic of a past era and a cautionary tale of how fame can fade when internal demons take control. Leif Garrett, a teen idol in the 70s, once had it all: fame, money, and his handsome face gracing every magazine. But behind that charming smile was a disaster in the making. At just 14, he began using drugs, and by 18, he caused a car accident while driving drunk, leaving his best friend paralyzed for life. His career started to unravel as his addiction worsened. By 2001, he filed for bankruptcy, left with only a few clothes, some household items, and $350 in cash. Once a teen heartthrob, Leif Garrett became homeless, with a criminal record tied to drug offenses and multiple stints in rehab. His situation grew so dire that Sharon Osbourne joked he was living under a bridge. Leif Garrett's story serves as a harsh reminder of how quickly fame fades and the fall of former stars. Ray Williams, once a star in the NBA as the captain of the New York Knicks and a key player in the 1985 Boston Celtics finals, faced a heartbreaking turn after his retirement. Instead of enjoying a fulfilling life like many of his former teammates, Ray was found sleeping in his Buick at Pompano Beach, Florida. This shocking fate was hard to reconcile for someone who had once dominated the court. Unlike many athletes, Ray didn't lose his wealth to gambling or reckless spending. His downfall seemed to stem from a combination of bad luck and a broken system. He publicly criticized the NBA for its lack of support for retired players, asking, "When I played the game, they always talked about loyalty to the team. So where is the loyalty and compassion for the retired players suffering now?" His words highlight the failure of the system and the struggles athletes face when their post-career lives aren't properly supported. The harsh reality is that not every sports legend is ensured security after their career ends. Financial hardships lead to bankruptcy, and despite their best efforts, they struggle to find new careers once they no longer compete. These heartbreaking journeys often end in obscurity, with some passing away in the shadows. A poignant example of this is the story of Bobby Driscoll. Bobby Driscoll was not just a child star, but also Disney's golden boy, voicing Peter Pan and winning an Academy Award for his role in The Window in 1950. However, his Hollywood fame was fleeting, and as he entered his teenage years, the industry no longer had a place for him. As his acting career stalled, Bobby turned to substance abuse and eventually ended up in prison. Though he was released, he couldn't escape his addiction and struggled to find steady work. In a later interview, he admitted, "I became a freak and homeless. I have no place to live. I don't live anywhere." From a beloved star admired by millions, Bobby had nothing left. No money, no home, no career. His story tragically ended in 1968, when his body was found in an abandoned building in Manhattan with no identification and no one to claim him. He was buried in an unmarked grave on Hart Island. His death went unnoticed by the public until 1971, when reporters searching for him uncovered that Hollywood had long forgotten him. From teen idol to tragic cautionary tale, David Cassidy is a stark reminder of how quickly fame can fade when poor choices pile up. As a sensation in the 70s, his face adorned magazine covers, his voice filled stadiums, and the Partridge Family made him a household name. But beneath that flawless image was a life marked by pain and mistakes. Broken marriages, turbulent relationships, and a battle with alcohol addiction dominated his life. His career slowly faded, and in 2010, he was arrested for driving under the influence, a wake-up call he failed to heed. Cassidy eventually admitted to being an alcoholic, and his life spiraled deeper into scandal and legal troubles. His story serves as a testament to how fleeting fame can be and the chaotic path even a teen star can't escape. Mindy McCready, the country music star who once won fans over with her hit songs, lived a life filled with glamour. Yet behind the fame, she faced battles she couldn't conquer. Legal issues, addiction, and personal losses plunged her life into chaos. Despite multiple rehab stints, her attempts at recovery were constantly overshadowed by the weight of her struggles. The tragic death of her boyfriend left her shattered, and just a month later, she was found unable to cope with the pain as her life unraveled. Her fight for custody of her children was the breaking point, causing her to lose what little stability remained. Mindy's story ended in heartbreak, serving as a painful reminder that even fame can't shield you from personal battles that can overwhelm at any moment. Danny Bonaduce, the breakout child star from the Partridge Family, has become a cautionary tale after years of battling addiction, homelessness, and health issues. Famous from a young age, his life was filled with turbulence, and as an adult, he found himself living in his car, just steps away from the iconic TCL Chinese Theater in Hollywood. He even joked, "People still recognize me, but no one knows I'm living behind a trash bin." Despite this, Danny didn't give up. He reinvented himself as a radio host in Seattle, found love, and got married. However, his life took another turn when he was diagnosed with a serious neurological condition, leading to his retirement after brain surgery. Danny's story is one of extreme highs and lows, from Hollywood stardom to rock bottom and back again, proving that sometimes a real-life comeback is wilder than anything seen on screen. Barkley wasn't just a boxer. He was a three-time world champion, defeating legends and amassing a $5 million fortune in the 80s and 90s. However, outside the ring, he faced devastating blows. By 2010, the former champion found himself homeless, sleeping in subway cars and budget motels. His once glorious career turned into a cautionary tale. Barkley didn't fall into drugs or gambling. Instead, it was poor financial decisions and reckless spending of the millions he had earned that led to his downfall. Without a steady income, Barkley fell into poverty and unemployment. His niece took him in for a while, offering him a place to stay. But when she could no longer support him, he was back on the streets and sleeping in subway cars, a shocking turnaround for someone once in the spotlight. However, thanks to non-profits like Bronx Works and Ring 10 Boxing, Barkley found housing and began rebuilding his life. Today he spends his time coaching young boxers, sharing his knowledge and experience with the next generation. Barkley's story is not just about loss, but about resilience, showing that even after facing severe challenges, a true champion always finds a way to rise again. Natasha Lyonne rose to fame in the 90s with iconic roles in films like Beverly Hills Gangster, But I'm a Cheerleader, and American Pie. However, behind her sharp wit and indie fame was a tumultuous period that nearly cost her everything in the early 2000s. Her life spiraled out of control, highlighted by a 2001 arrest for driving under the influence. By 2005, things grew darker when she was reportedly kicked out of her apartment in Park, battling addiction. Those years of self-destruction were painful, but Natasha Lyonne managed to reclaim her life, overcoming significant challenges to continue her career and return to the public eye. Her story proves that even after making mistakes, it's possible to rise from failure. Natasha Lyonne was once Hollywood's queen, adored for her iconic roles. However, her career collapsed when she battled addiction, hepatitis C, pneumonia, and heart infections caused by methadone use. Her years in the grip of drugs and struggles nearly erased her from the industry, overshadowed by troubling headlines and mugshots. But Natasha didn't give up. She fought for a comeback, rebuilding her career and turning her wild past into inspiration for her roles. She created and produced Russian Doll, a project deeply influenced by the challenges she faced. Recently, she captivated audiences with her leading role in Hollywood's Poker Face crime series. Natasha's story is a powerful testament to resilience, proving that sometimes the peaks of redemption can surpass even the most dramatic movie plots. Witnessing Natasha's life story, it's hard not to feel a sense of regret for such an incredible talent who almost lost it all due to addiction. What are your thoughts on her journey? Share your perspective in the comments below. And if you'd like to dive into another inspiring story, let us know. Marvin Gaye was not just a singer, but a soul music icon. With his visionary talent, he gave the world timeless classics like What's Going On and Sexual Healing. However, his life was also marked by tragedy. After reaching the peak of his music career, Marvin faced personal struggles, including family tensions and addiction. His life ultimately ended in heartbreak when he was shot and killed by his father in 1984. Marvin Gaye's story serves as a poignant reminder that even legends must face deep challenges, and the harshness of life can affect anyone. Butler, the actress best known for her lead role in Grace Under Fire, was once one of the biggest names on television. However, behind the laughter was a relentless battle with addiction that led to her financial downfall. Hollywood turned its back on her, and life on a farm in Georgia seemed like a fresh start. Yet she found herself struggling financially and even had to stay in a homeless shelter. After a period out of the public eye, she made a comeback, appearing on reality TV and gradually returning to the stage. Brett's story is a powerful reminder that in showbiz, nothing is permanent, and recovery is possible even when it feels like you've lost everything. Willie Ames, a television heartthrob from 8 is Enough and Charles in Charge, was earning over $1 million a year at the height of his fame. However, in a shocking turn of events, he lost everything: his career, bank accounts, wife, and even his child. After hitting rock bottom, he became homeless, sleeping in parking lots and parks, questioning how his life had taken such a drastic turn. Despite these setbacks, Willie didn't stay down for long. He picked himself up, became a financial advisor, learned about money management, and resumed his acting career. His story is one of the rare Hollywood comebacks, proving that even after losing everything, you can still rewrite your ending. Amanda Peterson shone brightly on the screen in the 1987 film Can't Buy Me Love, where she portrayed the perfect cheerleader Cindy Manini. With her natural charm and all-American beauty, she became a beloved teen idol of the 80s, admired by fans everywhere. However, behind the spotlight, Peterson struggled with addiction and mental health issues. As Hollywood's glow faded, she withdrew from the industry, seeking a life outside of fame. Yet life away from the limelight proved to be much harder. Despite her efforts to find peace, her struggles with addiction and emotional turmoil only worsened. On July 3, 2015, just days before her 44th birthday, Peterson tragically passed away from a drug overdose, leaving behind a legacy of talent, beauty, and unrealized potential. Her story serves as a heartbreaking reminder of how fleeting fame can be. Gary Coleman, born on February 8, 1968 in Zion, Illinois, became a household name with his role as Arnold Jackson in the hit television series Different Strokes from 1978 to 1986. His catchphrase, "What you talking about, Willis?" became an iconic part of TV history, earning him a global fan base. However, despite his early success, Gary Coleman's life was far from easy. After rising to fame, he faced financial struggles and personal challenges, including health issues, financial troubles, and family disputes, which eventually led him to lose much of what the world had once given him. Gary's story is a stark example of the hardships often hidden behind the Hollywood spotlight. Gary Coleman, the child star famous for his role as Arnold Jackson in Different Strokes, faced significant financial struggles after the show ended. Legal battles with his parents and former managers over the management of his assets led to serious disputes, nearly driving him to bankruptcy. After his acting career stalled, Coleman tried various jobs, from working as a security guard to venturing into politics, but none offered long-term stability. On May 28, 2010, Gary Coleman passed away at the age of 42 due to a brain hemorrhage, leaving a deep void in the hearts of fans and the television industry. Despite the challenges he faced off-screen, his contributions to the entertainment world remain appreciated. Todd Bridges, known for his role as Willis Jackson in Different Strokes, won the hearts of audiences as a child star. However, despite his early success, Todd's personal life was filled with difficulties. He battled addiction from his teenage years into adulthood, which led to numerous legal issues and a strained relationship with the justice system. Despite these challenges, Todd didn't let them define him. He sought help and began his recovery journey with determination. Today, Todd is a passionate advocate for addiction recovery and mental health awareness. He shares his personal story to inspire others facing similar struggles. While his acting career has had ups and downs, Todd continues to work on film and television projects while using his platform to discuss his journey through addiction. His story is a testament to the power of perseverance and recovery, serving as a symbol of transformation and encouraging others to seek help and believe in their ability to change. These stories of stars remind us that no matter how famous or successful someone may be, life is full of unexpected twists and challenges. From financial ruin to emotional and material losses, they've faced immense struggles. Yet, it's these very difficulties that have shaped their incredible strength and resilience. Their journeys continue to inspire, showing us that life is not just about success, but about the relentless pursuit of rediscovering ourselves. If you found this story interesting, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe so you won't miss the next exciting video. See you in the next one.